Today we're going to look at blood cells, the cells that we have in our bodies. So we're going to look at three types of blood cells. The first one is red blood cells. These are responsible for transportation of oxygen from lungs to all body tissues. You can as well see my body tissues, for them to function well in our bodies, they need oxygen. So that oxygen we breathe in through the nostrils painopinda in our body inotransportwa nema-red blood cells ichibviswa kuma-lungs ichiendeswa to all body tissues. As well, as humans, we breathe out carbon dioxide gas as a waste. So it is also carried by the blood painenge yapinzwa mu-blood through diffusion process from the air sacs. Saka inokerwa back yotakurwa yoendeswa back to the lungs. Saka this is the other function of red blood cells. We can as well see that they are pegged with hemoglobin, which is a protein that binds the oxygen to give its red pigmentation of blood. Saka my red blood cells ane that red pigmentation, yet not hemoglobin. Saka it is a protein which binds oxygen. Saka oxygen painotakurwa paipai, it can be contained and inobva yanobinda futi pama red blood cells because basa rayo nderekuti ikwanise kupa that red pigmentation to the blood. They are biconcave in shape. Iwo ma red blood cells mukamatarisa shape yawo, it is biconcave. Saka ndo zvimwe zvezvinhu. At the same time, they have no nucleus, which creates space for more hemoglobin and to squeeze through capillaries when they are moving from one side to another in our bodies. Saka kushaikwa kwenucleus kunobatsira kuti akwanise kuita squeeze through the capillaries achifamba, at the same time kuti akwanise kupenetrate all the areas in our bodies paanenge achitransporta oxygen, because oxygen is needed by all the parts in our bodies, including the cells, tissues, and organs. Right. The other thing, they are produced in a bone marrow. Almost every day we produce red blood cells in a bone marrow, and they are very, very small in size. Right, we go on to white blood cells. Their main function is to fight against diseases, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and as well they clean up dead cells. Mchaona tinema cells anenge afa through the activities that tinoswera tichiita on daily basis. Saka ma cells paanofa, they will be cleaned up by the white blood cells. It is also their duty. Saka haisi duty yekungofighta ma diseases only. Ma bacteria anotinyangira achida kutikonzeresa kurwara, nema viruses as well as ma fungi tinokwanisa to fight off by the white blood cells. Saka we can as well see that there are two types of white blood cells. Saka the first one are the phagocytes. Phagocytes they fight against infections by engulfing the pathogens, and then after engulfing they digest the pathogen in a process called phagocytosis. Saka tirikuti isusu maphagocytes basa rawo anotoenda in contact with the foreign object yapinda mubody, which is the infection, virus or bacteria, and then yobva try kuifighta off by digesting it. My lymphocytes then, they secrete or they produce the antitoxins or antibodies that helps in fighting against infections. Saka ndiye kuproduce ma antibodies in our body anotibatsira kufighta nekureduce ma infections anenge achiuya achida kutinyangira in our bodies. So these are the two main major types of white blood cells atofana kuziva in combined science, especially in our syllabus. Therefore, we go on to the platelets. They are very small and are responsible for blood clotting, especially when there is a wound on the body. Ukakuvara ukaita chironda, ibasa rema-platelets to form a clot kuitira kustopa ropa kuti risaramba chibuda rakawanda. At the same time kuitira kuti mabacterias and some other infections asauye achipenetrata, because anopinda through that opening yechironda. Saka basa rema-platelets kuclota kuitira kuti pasape nepenetration nekuti pazopinda zvirwere. Saka anofoma anonzi mafibrins, tunenge tuma-threads like so, tunenge tuchibatsirawo kuvhara chironda, tunhu itoto nokustopa bleeding. So this is what we are supposed to know on these three types of